my word, what a goal by Rambo! I love that man! Ollie Rambo, not my children! Please, take them! Yes! 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 Just in case you haven't realised, Wrexham have scored!
The final score, Wrexham 1, Watford 5. But let's not worry too much about the score, because this was good. This was a very pleasing performance by a Wrexham side who, as Jenny Sugarman said afterwards, are deliberately stretching ourselves, playing sides that are of a very, very high level in order to make sure that we can really hit the ground running when we start the Adran Premier season in a couple of weeks. And it was an extremely pleasing workout. Watford are a second division team. That is way above Adran Premier standards. And we gave them a run for their money. Please don't misunderstand me. Watford deserved to win it. They opened us up a lot, especially in the latter stages of the game. But we made a lot of chances against them. I mean, this game could have been like 4-7 or something like that. It was that sort of match. In fact, at times, it really was wildly open with chances, big chances at either end. And it was pretty astonishing. There was only one goal at half-time between the sides. But we took it deep into the game before they managed to get a 2-goal advantage. And that's incredibly pleasing. We made really clear-cut openings against a top side. And we were... Okay, at the end, I think, frankly, it was just one of those games where you've got friendlies where you have to make multiple changes because you need to give people minutes and you need to give some people a rest as well. And it was just one of those times where you make multiple changes, and while the individuals did fine, as a unit, you just didn't quite get it going again afterwards. So we went a bit flat last 20 minutes and they punished us because they had quality when they were making their changes. But, you know, I mean, there's 4 players in their team who are Welsh internationals. Obviously, you don't get many Welsh internationals in the Adran Premier, and you don't get any current ones, really. Lucy Farrell, our new keeper, an exception up to a point in that. She's a recent international, isn't she? That shows you that they're at a higher level than us, but we competed with them. In fact, the Welsh players in the end were rather important in making sure that it was, in the end, a 5-1 win for Watford. But we started off terribly, terribly well. Our pressing was excellent. We started with 4 at the back and more of a 4-1-4-1. Maybe caught caught Watford out slightly. But whether that was the reason, the first 20 minutes we made a lot of opportunities, and while they did get at us occasionally, we were making real issues. Katie Barker curled a shot just wide from outside the box. Twice their debutante keeper. And again, just to talk about the calibre of their side, Middleton Patel, Welsh international goalkeeper, last December playing for Man United when they, wait for it, beat Chelsea. What am I saying, Chelsea? My brain's not working. Beat PSG in the Champions League last December. She's on loan to Watford. That's the quality they've got. Twice, though, because we put such good press on and really organised, forced her into giving the ball away. Straight to Lily Jones, the person you don't want to. The first time she shot and it went just over. The second time she squared us and we couldn't quite get the shot off in time. Thomas headed wide from a Barker cross, and we looked so good early on. Maybe just needed to take those opportunities because you could see Watford had real quality. Haynes in midfield was really drifting forwards, finding nice spaces. Taser on the left of their attack Welsh international. Taser was shocking. It's something sadly I can't say because she was very good. Was making really clever runs in behind, and Maria Francis-Jones was trying to get forwards and invert, but it was tricky for her to do that with Taser making all these runs. But yeah, they started to get back into dangerous positions. Haynes picked up a pull back from Taser and curled it just wide from just off outside the box after 10 minutes. Within a minute, there's another big moment for Wrexham. Barker had a right battle with Skyers, left side of centre-back. Beat her, went driving into the box. Nobody could keep up with her, so she had to go as alone. Tight angle, struck it well. Good goalkeeping by Middleton Patel to stand up and get the parry in. Sky soon afterwards got a yellow for a very late tackle on Lily Jones, which was worrying at first. Lily seemed to look like she was really hurt. It was a right knee that seemed to be the problem. But she was able to carry on, thank goodness. And we kept battling away. Watford, halfway through the half, 0-0, and exchanging opportunities. Hayes with a fantastic back heel to Taser, who drove it in. Really good save, high to her left by Farrell, who got across and parried it away when she was going in one direction. And then again, soon afterwards, it's us racing in and trying to make issues with Barker again bursting in the box. Knox hitting a shot that wasn't quite on target. Haynes then feeding a lovely ball in for Noonan, who's one-on-one. And Farrell does brilliantly to come out and save at her feet. 24th minute though, I beg your pardon, Noonan it was, Haynes who played the pass. Noonan again is through, Vera Jones playing the pass in, and this time Noonan makes no mistake. In fact, again, illustrating the quality that they have. Noonan having been denied by Farrell, who came out really quickly, closed down the space and got a foot in, while Noonan decided to go around her. This time Noonan wasn't going to allow Farrell to do it again. When it came to her, she hit it first time, bang, bottom right corner, great finish. Not just the quality of the finish, but the intelligence. And actually Watford then were on top in the rest of the half. But just like against Sporting Jacks, okay, we're struggling to get out, but we still remember our defensive principles, our defensive shape. We don't drop too deep. The defence does well. The midfield looks to protect, and they didn't open us up that many times. Taser again had a shot from the edge of the area. Good parry by Farrell, and we managed to deal with the loose ball. When Farrell played a pass forward, just Noonan intercepted. The Irish striker wasn't able to hit the target. She put it just off target from outside the box. A fair way out, to be fair. And then Noonan again getting involved, working Noblein down the left-hand side. But again, Farrell stood up well, forced to try and find a corner and put it into the side netting. Second half we come out and we are re-energised and instantly start to cause problems. A great ball over the top by Farrell drops in behind the centre-back Lyon. And again, just one of those things, quality that we will not really come up against so much in the Adran Premier. Barker's one-on-one, but Lyon is quick enough to stick with her, even if she can't quite catch her, put pressure on her, and as a result, as Barker tries to get the ball across her body onto her right foot to drill in the shot, Lyon is leaning on her, putting pressure on. Barker still hits it well, and Middleton Patel makes a really good save. This will happen again soon afterwards. But first, Wrexham had a ridiculous let-off. Taser looked offside, but the flag stayed down, breaking into the box, one-on-one with the keeper. Farrell comes out. Taser passes it forwards, though, to the supporting striker Noonan, who scores, and Noonan's offside. I mean, why Taser passed, I just don't know. It was clearly going to be offside, so we got away with it, and then we capitalised because we equalised. Great piece of play. Lily Jones with a fabulous diagonal after some good setup work by Francis Jones. Knox picks her up on the left side of the box, very cool, cuts inside, beats a defender and looks to rip it across the keeper. It's another good save by Middleton Patel. I mean, both keepers making a lot of good saves, but this time Thomas is there and she dives in and heads the ball into an empty net, and we are cock-a-hoop. We are level in the second half with the second division team. Knox nearly plays a perfect through ball for Thomas with the outside of her foot. Knox really, after that goal, has a spell where she's bossing the game. And then also a terrific ball over the top by our left-back trialist we brought on at half-time. Sends Thomas in and she draws the keeper, but it's a tight angle. Looks to square as a good Barker tap in, and it's a massive interception in the box to deny her. However, Watford are also showing threat at the other end. A terrific ball by Noble over the top sends Taser one-on-one, and again Farrell distinguishes itself with a really good save. Then there's a mistake by our trialist just moments after she'd played that great ball in. Totally gets a back pass long and sells Farrell completely up the river. She has to come out the box to try and get there, but she's got no real chance of making it. And this was just a phenomenal moment. Noonan gets past Farrell about 30 yards out, and that's it. It's a goal, isn't it? She sets herself, and out of nowhere, Bartle comes flying in on the blind side, lunges in full stretch, and as Noonan shoots into the empty net, Bartle arrives and blocks it. A brilliant, brilliant piece of work. What a shame that there is no justice in football, because they score from the corner. We half deal with it, but when it comes back out, Jones, who was superb, carries it down the touchline, pulls it back, and Poppy Wilson scores a straightforward close-range finish. And that hurts us, I think. You know, having equalised, conceding so soon afterwards, I think does just hurt us a little bit. And they start making more chances. They're now refreshing their team and bringing on again second-level players. The depth, the quality was striking. Clancy sweeps in. Really good ball. We've started to make changes now. And Wilson is one-on-one looking for another. But Lizzie Craven is now in goal, and she races out really quickly and forces Wilson to hurry the shot, and it goes under. But they get another with a fine move. Greenwood's a right-sided centre-back, stands a good ball down the flank. Wilson, running down the right, stands a perfect cross to the far post, and Phoebe Poole, another Welsh international, heads the ball home. We have not given up, and we get another moment where Barker does superbly to make a tackle and tear through. She's one-on-one through the middle again. Again, the defensive recovery pace is outstanding, and Barker is able to get a shot off and draw another good save. But the recovery pace again has put a lot of pressure on her, whereas Adrian Prem surely should have just wandered in and had all the time in the world. And again, we are punished for that. The next goal coming about when Watford get round the back of our defence down the left. It's a poor pullback at first, but unfortunately for us, Watford managed to win it back, and it's pulled back to Jamaican international Paul, and she finishes superbly. Just sets herself left of centre just outside the box and curls it inside the far post, unsavable. And yeah, it's getting a bit cruel, especially when a few minutes later they score again. This time it's Poole drilling a fabulous shot from distance. Again, poor Lizzie Craven's just got no chance of doing anything about it. Slams against the bar, bounces back out, and incredibly, another Welsh international, Philby, attacks it 25 yards out and just smashes a worldie. First time it's through a crowd again. No chance for Craven to even see it until it's very close in, and it flies in the bottom corner. A fabulous goal, and suddenly it's 5-1. And this is the point where you think, oh no, we could ship a bit of damage and it would look very cruel. In fact, Muya, another sub, has another good chance, but again, Craven comes out really well, makes herself big, and forces Muya to shoot wide in a one-on-one. So a 5-1 outcome, but like I said, we got a bit exposed at the end, partly through tiredness, partly through, I think, the fact that the game was gone, and also the substitutions, which had to be made, in the end, maybe just drew a little bit out of us. But this is good. I mean, this is really good to be given a good hour where we're giving Watford as good as we got. We could have scored 2 or 3 in the first half. Watford could have scored more, like I say. I want to be honest about this. But hell's bells, this is terrific against sides of that quality. Looking at the performances, well, I'm so pleased for Farrell, who was a quality goalkeeper, had a bit of a rough time against Sporting Jacks, and to really come through and perform like this, she made some excellent saves, really good with one-on-ones, good decision making as well, and it was pleasing to see. Lizzie Craven came on for the last 27 minutes and was excellent, did really well. She let goals in, couldn't help that, but she really held the fort well and attacked crosses well and looked to give control at the back. In defence, Murray Francis-Jones played the full 90 and put a hell of a shift in. It was frustrating because he did a lot of good work on the ball and good defensive work as well, but the way Watford had set themselves out, they were really getting good pace down her side of the pitch, and that made life a bit difficult for her positionally rather than any criticism of her. She was having to try and get forward, but then having to try and get back and cover, and so that made life difficult for her, but she did a lot of good work and good use of the ball. Jodie Bartle was one of the players who came off after 63 minutes. I meant to say Traunch then. What's a ranch of players? captain's innings again. Lots of defending to do. Did very well up against Noonan, a big strong centre-back, and gave as good as she got. And that phenomenal intervention. Jeez, how the hell did she do that? Phoebe Davies came on and looked very impressive. We shifted eventually to 3 at the back, but she played in both a 4 and a 3 and made some great challenges. Really impressive, and it was sharp looking. Nat Clark played the full 90 as well in the centre of defence, interestingly. First in a 2, then in the middle of a 3, and made a lot of important interventions. That typical reading of the game again from her, and ability to win balls into the box in the air and on the ground. She stood firm and was very important for us. Then Abby Salway played the first half at left back and did well. To me, she's a left-sided centre-back more than a left-back. But having said that, she did a very good job defensively. She allowed Knox to be more of our left-sided option going forwards, and had a sound game. Replaced at half-time by the trialist, who, apart from that nightmare back pass, looked lively. Good on the ball, strong in the tackle, good talker, looking to organise, and made a good impression. We look into midfield, where Lily Jones, when we were playing the 4-1-4-1, was playing often on the right of the midfield and then switching back inside for Barker to go wide. And Lily, again, some of our snappy approach play in the opening stages when we were taking it to Watford revolved around Lily being able to receive and help the ball forwards quickly and accurately. And she was in the middle of so much, genuinely impressive. Sarah Harvey came on and was terrific playing at the back as a centre-back, as a left-sided centre-back. Really did an impressive job. The number of interventions and tackles. She has had an outstanding pre-season stroke Champions League campaign and looks to be really up to speed now to hit next season. We interestingly played Reedford in a more advanced midfield central position. Centre mid in the 4-1-4-1, which of course gives scope to go forwards, and then the front end of the box midfield for a little bit when we reorganised. And again, very tidy on the ball, carries the ball well, is aware of what's going on around her. You can see that she's got experience at a high level. Mary Mahmood came on for the last 12 minutes to replace her. Unfortunate timing for her, really, because she worked very hard, but she had very little chance to get involved, because that was the point around then when really Watford were getting right on top of us and scoring those late goals. So it was a tough stint for her, but she never gave her up. Josie Smith played the full 90, as did Katie Barker, and the two of them deserve a lot of credit. Smith constantly having to cover. I mean, it was, again, a tough gig for her, playing in that holding role when we played the 4-1-4-1, was covering really well, but you can sometimes get exposed by quick teams at positions, so no criticism of her, but spaces appear either side because they are getting in between the lines. But she was, as ever, tidy, metronomic in her use of the ball and intervening very effectively. Barker's great, isn't she? I mean, Barker, if you stick her a bit further out wide in the right, stick her on the right 10, wherever you want to put her, she's a threat, and she was bursting through. And when you see a player like her who can play as a 10 and still make those centre forward runs through the middle because of her pace in the Adran Premier, that's great, and that's one thing. But to be doing it against WSL 2 teams, woo, that's another. Fair play. She had a really good tussle with Lyon, the central defender of the 3, and Sky as a left-sided defender of the 3. I thought Lyon was excellent, and it was a pretty even scrap. And I thought Barker had the better of Skyers, if I'm honest with you. Natasha Thomas as well. I mean, it's great to see her getting an hour in, just building up her minutes, and she's got such strength. She was dropping back in her own half and winning the ball back really well. She could battle physically with Lyon. What a signing. What a signing. Evie Sadler came on, and again, that was when the game was starting to turn against us, but she... by that time they'd switched Lyon out, but Chandler, the centre that they got brought in, was also strong. Sadler really looked to be physical and fight with her, backing in, won a couple of good headers, held the ball up well. But the problem is, like I said, our forward momentum died out and gave her less to work with. And then Faye Knox, who put in a really good stint in the first half in terms of covering that left flank, and then came to life at the start of the second half and was running the game, like I said, for a bit. Really good vision, really good awareness, set up the goal and packed a bit of threat. Liv Fuller as well, great to see, got the last half hour. And I enjoy watching her against good teams because she's so intelligent, and you can see her figuring out, right, okay, where will there be space? Where will there be an angle to lay the ball off first time? How can I shift this ball a bit quicker and get the passing patterns we work on into play? And I just loved that. It was good to see, and I felt, I did say this to her, so I hope it's okay for me to say, but I did feel that her sharpness looked at a higher level again from the Champions League. She's coming back from a horrible, horrible injury. And my word, I mean, what a player she has already been for us. And it was great to see her just looking sharper again. So a 5-1 loss, and we got a tough game on Thursday. And we lost 5-1 to Sporting Jacks, and we lost 4-1 in the Champions League. But these are all good things. Trust me, these are good things. We will not come up against many teams who can play the little passes inside our fullbacks that Watford were doing while we're putting pressure on the ball on them. Well, putting pressure on them while they're on the ball in midfield. You can tell I'm rushing because I can smell the pizza in the oven. You will not come up against that. You will not come up against defenders with the sort of recovery pace that Lyon had and the other central defenders. These high-quality elements we will not come up against. And if we can work on our defensive shape by having an attacking team with real quality come at us, as we have in all those games, if we can create opportunities, as we did against Riga and against Watford, if we can stay in games, we were leading Riga, remember, into the second half. We equalised in the second half here. We are consistently, after an hour, really in these matches. Sporting Jacks the exception, but they were from a different planet. And the workout we got defensively, I thought, was invaluable for our Champions League games after. If we can do this against sides that really stretch us, never mind the results, they're irrelevant. We're playing teams we should lose to, but we are competing really well and testing what we are looking to achieve. And we're doing it well, and we're getting better and better at it. I am incredibly optimistic about this season. I feel very good about it. Thursday will be another tough test, but this team has shown they're not scared of tough tests, and it will just leave us ready to hit the ground running when we play the start of the season. I did write about the Sporting Jacks game, saying that it reminded me of Muhammad Ali, the big, I've said this before and I'm sorry, the publicity stunt where he trains underwater, which really was a lie. It was just to try and sell tickets, but he convinces journalists that he trains underwater in the swimming pool, because his logic is if he can be as quick as normal underwater, then when he comes out in air with less resistance, he's super quick. Although he wasn't really doing it, although it was a publicity stunt, I like that idea that if we can actually execute elements of our game plan against really high caliber opposition, it should come to us much easier when we're playing our bread and butter domestic games. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Our new signings are looking good, and we are able to stand up and be counted against sides that maybe we shouldn't be. Brilliant stuff. So good signs. See you on Thursday. Let's see how we do against another second division team in Wolves. But with the final score of Wrexham 1, Watford 5, I am Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC. I hope you liked that. If you did, click like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, leave a comment. That's okay by me. Debate is important. But yeah, remember, all this stuff and more coming to you on this YouTube channel. And of course, you can also go onto my Patreon and get even more exclusive stuff. Membership starts for less than the price of a pint a month. And you know you should be looking after your health, don't you? Yeah. Subscribe.